What's happening, everyone? Before this next leg of podcast show starts, this is a reminder to you not to be a minge bag. Go over to Patreon, sign up for £1 a week and take advantage of all the Patreon perks. It is the Patreon that pays. We have a betting show on a Saturday, which the postman here is picking winners every single week.
Yeah, the betting show comes out Saturday mornings, covers UFC and boxing, footy when we're in the footy season. But yeah, we're winning on a weekly basis. I can't remember the last week we didn't find some sort of winner. So yeah, as Andy says, don't be a minge bag, come and get involved. And as I say, it's one of the best communities that you could be a part of, isn't it?
It's a belter. As well as the betting show on a Wednesday, me and Jord have a chat. That's where you might have seen on our Insta Reels about crocs, about harpooning people at the end of the night, all that kind of chat that goes on. And even better, every single Wednesday we do a raffle draw, and our sponsors Montrex give £100 gift voucher away just for being on Patreon. No better time to join. There's 30 plus episodes already that you can go back and watch. Again, no better time. Get involved. Don't be a minge bag. £1 a week, and we'll see you there. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the Sportscast. It's me, Andy Grant.
It's me, Jordan Neild.
First off, hope you all have a boss weekend. The footy is back. I am absolutely made up with that. First off, again, big shout out Montrex. I'm rocking it today. Jordan's rocking our biblical hoodie, which you can still get if you message us. You want one of them. But Montrex, yeah, been sponsoring the podcast for a while now, and for all you non-minge bags who are signed up to Patreon, they give £100 away every single week just for being a part on Patreon. Adam McNeil, an old Marine mate of mine, actually won it this week. We sent him the £100 voucher, which he hopefully can, don't know whether he's used it, but he got sent the voucher the very next day. That's what you get when you support us on Patreon. We also got Health Kick Kitchen, who I will be taking advantage of their scran. Yeah. Spoke to him this morning. It's all left there ready for us to pick up.
Is it there already?
Oh, yes.
Love it.
Health Kick Kitchen, you get
boys.
10% off if you use the code below. And also Ver Clothing. You get 20% off them if you type in Leggett20. So again, all our sponsors, all Liverpool businesses, get supporting them, and we really do appreciate their support. Back into sport, lad.
Got to start some footy, haven't we?
Got to. So
what's the Football League back in it this weekend?
Well, I think you're being a bit disrespectful there, lad, jumping to the Football League.
Why is it?
Well, we've got the women's game.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, lad, at least.
Have you been watching it? Are you going?
I watched the semi-final. I'm going, yeah.
Seen the backheel goal, not bad at all, that.
Backheel goal was good. So, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, England's women.
Someone who really follows.
England women's team have made the final of the Euros, which is played on Sunday against none other than Germany.
They haven't conceded a goal, have they? Or they didn't until the semi?
England?
No, it's Germany.
I don't know.
And
I've only watched one game.
Machines, mate.
The semis. You know what, mate? I am supporting it, and I want to get on the jump on the bandwagon now, last minute, laddie, and really get on board. But it's a slow. It sounds horrible saying this, but it's not hard to watch. It's nice to watch, but it's just because I'm spoilt. Maybe if I supported someone like Luton, I might be into it more. But when you see that out, like I don't know, like you're seeing Salah every week, it's my own fault for just expecting that there's going to be someone in that women's England team who are going to be like Salah and Diaz. Obviously, they're not. So I think once you can wrap your head around this is a lower standard, it's good.
Yeah, Wembley sold out, isn't it?
Yeah.
My next door neighbour's involved with the team. Someone, I don't know her role, but she's with the team. Like,
yeah, I watched the semi-final. First game I'd watched. Was made up to see them win, which again set up a clash with Germany. I said as well, just to myself, I know that easy in hindsight, but I was like, I might do a double there, England and Germany, just because you think England, Germany, and I didn't do it, and that's what it is.
Yeah, to be honest, I've dipped in and out of the games, like, well, good on England, like, I don't, yeah.
It'd be a tight game. The last three fixtures, they've both, it's like for England, they've won, lost and drew, so,
Any scouts in the England team?
Alex Greenwood, come on, didn't she?
Who does she play for?
She did play for Barcelona, I think.
Did she, huh?
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, the team. I to be honest, I haven't followed it as much as, but I just don't like international footy. Full stop. Whether that's male or female, it just doesn't appeal to me. But good luck to them. Yeah,
I hope they win. Transfers. I'm gonna say this now, right? And people are gonna think, Andy, fucking hell, the season hasn't even started yet. You're having a go at Everton.
I knew this was coming.
Go on.
Do not criticise them signing Dwight McNeil.
Why?
That's a solid signing, lad.
Okay, go on. Tell me a bit about him.
He's 22. He's played 130 plus Prem games for Burnley. Left footer, better than what they've got, and they're getting him for 14 mil with add-ons.
What position does he play?
Left wing.
So he's attacking.
Yeah.
Okay. So he played 38 every game last season.
For Burnley, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how many goals he scored?
Doesn't matter about, like...
Do you know how many assists he got?
Doesn't matter, lad.
So they've signed an attacking midfielder who last season played every single minute of Premier League action and got 1 assist.
You don't watch footy if you think he's a bad signing.
I'm not saying I've never seen him.
He's a solid
I've never
signing.
seen him.
A year ago, they were talking about him being in the England squad.
And that's great. I'm saying on stats.
Yeah, stats are shit. Don't matter. They don't, lad.
I don't know nothing about him. I'm just saying if a winger is playing 38 games and he's getting 1 assist.
Thiago's had about 8 assists for us or something like that.
But
is he a crap player?
But is assisting his main kind of thing?
Yeah, he's a midfielder. That's your bread and butter.
But the way we play, I wouldn't say.
But the bones of it, if you just look at the stats, you could go, yeah, he's not.
And that's what I'm saying. He might be great.
He is, lad. He's much better than what they've got. He's a
not
good
hard
player.
though, is it? That's not a great argument.
But is that not what you do as a manager? Do you not get better than what you've got?
Well, of course you do. Yeah, you try and improve your squad.
That's a solid sign. I'm telling you now.
He might be great.
Yeah, I don't know about the other guy, Ruben Vinagre, or whatever his name is.
He was on loan, when he at
Wolves. I've not seen him, but every time I've watched Dwight McNeil, he scored a worldie against Everton at Goodison. But
won't have been last season, lad.
No, it was the season before, but it was an absolute. But he's 22, lad. Played over 100 Prem games for a team who's like struggled badly.
I'm just saying, right? If for example, when you say stats don't matter, Liverpool have signed Nunes. He's fucking top goal scorer last year. So those stats do matter because you think, fucking hell, he's the best goal scorer in Portugal.
I know he scored at Attrich, but then he had another stinker the other day, didn't he?
But I'm saying last season for Portugal, in the Portuguese league, you're looking at stats going,
but if you just look at, right, he's got this. So if we signed all of our players based on, he got this many assists last year and this many goals. If you just sign players based on that, you would fuck up very quickly.
All I'm saying is, if I was an Everton fan and we've just sold Richarlison, you've got Calvert-Lewin, who's very injury prone, Dele Alli, who let's set about him the better. I'd be wanting someone a bit more proven.
Based on what, lad? They come 16th, or where did they come last year? Who are you getting?
I don't know who you're getting, but I'm just saying, as a fan, I'd want someone who was maybe a bit more proven.
That's the problem with fans, because they don't look into... Like, I guarantee you there's people calling them shit who are at Everton who've never watched them play. I'm
not calling them shit. I'm saying it's a little bit worrying that as a winger and as an attacking midfielder, he's played every minute of every game last season and got 1 assist.
That's what you should be looking at. A team in a relegation battle are happy to put a 22-year-old in the... starting every week. And I bet you Burnley fans are disappointed to see him go. They barely attacked, so... Like saying, his attacking stats doesn't write the full picture. I think that's a very good sign for him.
I'm not saying it's a bad signing, for the record. I am saying, as a fan, I'd want to see someone with a bit more proven.
That's why fans are knobs. Because you have to like it. You're always.
Where do you think Everton are going to finish this season?
I reckon if they finish anywhere between 8th and 15th, they've had a brilliant season.
But where do you think they'll finish?
Somewhere between there.
I think they're going to finish 15th and below.
No, they'll be fine of it. I mean, they've made some... Like, if they can get... Obviously, if they can get Dele Alli playing... Dwight McNeil plays exactly into Dominic Calvert-Lewin's strengths in terms of his left foot and crossing. If they can keep him fit, they got Gordon. Tarkowski's not a bad signing based on what they've got. Michael Keane's garbage, isn't he? They got that Michalenko. They're going to get Gay back, apparently, who's head and shoulders above any of their midfielders. I think Lampard's got a tough job on, but I think they'll be alright. I hope they're alright.
On to our transfers. Bobby might be leaving. Bobby's getting linked to Juventus, as is Timo Werner as well.
Yeah, you give him to anyone you can, Werner. I'm gutted to see Firmino go.
I mean, it's not nailed on, but that's the kind of rumours that Juve are after him, and I think
he's who sums up Klopp for me. Klopp's impact.
Yeah, he's been. I mean, was he? No, he was there already, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, like, he bought into it straight away, didn't he? And like he said, when the first sort of wave of the pressing thing, he was the man, wasn't he?
Yeah, lad. Brendan Rodgers played him left back once.
Yeah, but that just sums Brendan Rodgers up. See, Kasper Schmeichel's going to like Nice or something.
Is he?
Yeah, so he's going from Leicester to like some. Apparently, yeah, some.
Not a bad move towards the end of the career, the south of France.
Is he towards the end of his career though? I always think he's like 31 or something.
Depends what he wants to be the end of the career. He's not like Ronaldo. He wants to play till 40. He wants to start sunning himself at some point, doesn't he? In the south of
35.
France.
I didn't really.
South of France ain't a bad place to kind of end your career.
Yeah, but I'd understand if he was like dropping out of Leicester's team or whatever. But he's still like a stalwart, isn't he?
Who they got for the keeper now?
I don't know. Weird,
yeah.
But as you say, it's not a bad place to end your career, is it? Nice.
No, I think if Bobby went as well, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I don't even think for our attacking options. Obviously, with us now having Jota and the new lad coming in, but it'd be sad to see him go.
Yeah, Nunes scored a banging hat-trick.
What?
He scored a sick hat-trick, Nunes, didn't he? In the game.
4 goals he scored, didn't he?
Someone messaged on Patreon saying that I was only joking the other week when I said he's the worst player I've ever seen. He's not the worst player I've ever seen, but he does need to. He's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. A lot of pressure.
I don't think Nunes will get more than 15 goals this season.
You don't?
I don't. I'm not. That's not knocking him. I just don't think he's gonna do a Salah and come in and score. 25 plus.
But I think that would be like, again, it's the fan thing, isn't it? Like, come in and smash loads of goals in. It's only freaks that do that, and I think he'll be. I was speaking to someone the other day, and the way he moves and stuff, you can tell that he's got ability. It's not like he, a bit like when Andy Carroll come in and he looked a bit awkward receiving the ball and stuff. You can tell he's got ability, and you can tell that he can definitely finish. But there's much more to it in the Premier League, isn't he? And I think
there's much more to it in playing in a Klopp team as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see whether he starts straight away. Because I know Jota's got injuries, hasn't he, at the minute?
Yeah, I don't think he'll score more than 15 in the Prem anyway.
But I think if he scored 15, I'd consider that a decent season.
Yeah.
But it's like, obviously, there's the problem is that everyone in Anfield is just comparing. We've sold Sadio. You're coming in to play. You're the main man, and that's a lot of pressure to take on. I don't
think they'd be thinking like that. They got Salah, who's the main man, and I think if Mane wasn't always, Mane was never outscoring Salah, was he? I think he equalled him once. I think for the first season he gets 15, I'd be happy.
But if he doesn't hit the ground running, every single pundit and that'll be talking about how much we miss Mane. Is me point.
I think it'll depend on Diaz as well, though. If Diaz gets going, I think Mane potentially could be forgotten about very quickly.
I disagree, lad. I think he'll be highlighted how much we miss him, I reckon, because he just brought so much. Like, it's like Carragher says all the time, like, he brought so much more than like goals. It was just energy. It was like, I think Diaz is unreal, but I think he's a very different type of player, isn't he? He's like, he's not as dynamic as Mane was, although he's very, very tidy on the ball. But I just think there'll be a lot of pressure on them front three. But I think Salah will hit the ground running. He looks seriously sharp. I seen a clip the other day.
I've not watched any fucking.
No, it wasn't friendly. It was like a training thing. So
he scored 4.
Yeah, and his finishing's a joke.
Other Liverpool players, mate. Suarez back to Nacional.
Yeah.
In Uruguay.
Just glad we didn't sign him again.
That's a bit of a mad one. That I would have thought he would have went the MLS or something, but going back to Uruguay.
Can definitely still do it somewhere, him.
I would have thought in Europe.
But maybe he just wants to get on, doesn't he? How old is he? Is he like 36 now, Suarez?
33, 34, I think he is.
I think in the modern game, he's never been known for like getting fat or not. He's always been in good shape. I think you would suggest he could still play somewhere. And it's like you said the other week, although he fell out of the Atletico team, he was still a goal every 2 games on average.
Yeah.
Like,
on the Atletico as well, since you mentioned them, did you see the banner they had for Ronaldo?
No.
So Ronaldo was getting linked to a move to Atletico Madrid, and the fans come out with a statement and was like, it was something really like piss taking, and was like, Atletico are not in the business of buying aging players on the last fucking rung of their career, and even if they could guarantee success and trophies, we still would not want Ronaldo here.
Love it.
And then they had a big banner behind the goal saying Ronaldo not welcome.
I love it. Do you know them games when we played Atletico and everyone hated them? I did something about. I love Atletico Madrid.
Their ground was fucking heavy when we got beat by them 1-0.
I just loved it. I loved the shithousing. I loved the
shithousery.
Yeah, I love it. I love Simeone. I
like Simeone.
He's just a lunatic.
It's a great documentary on Amazon about him.
Isn't he? I don't know. don't know, I just love them. But I like clubs and that who stand on stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? We don't like. I think like Ronaldo thinks I can just walk into wherever I want.
Well, he's in such a tricky situation now. I seen he turned up at your best mate Alex Ferguson the other day at the training ground.
Yeah.
What the fuck's he there for?
To convince him, lad. Bad smell.
That is weird. That, you know, how it's like you bringing your granddad and your granddad going, right, son, go on. Listen.
Imagine Ten Hag starting in that room. Right, I'm going to speak to Ronaldo now. Tell him what our plans are. Like, oh, just let the real boss come in. Let him just have a word with him. So then Ten Hag stood in the corner, like a naughty school kid.
It's weird that, but anyway, Ferguson was in with him the other day. Bayern have reeled themselves out.
Yeah. I wouldn't have him. Why would you have him?
I want to know what I'm genuinely invested into where he's going to go.
I think he'll end up in the MLS.
He wants to play Champions League, doesn't he?
Yeah, I know, but I reckon they're hollow words, me. I reckon he'll go somewhere where someone will offer him stupid dough. Like,
it'd be a shame though, because he was banging them in still last season. What, third top goal scorer in the Prem?
Yeah, but it's what comes with it now, though, isn't it? It's like, it used to be a no-brainer. Well, you know, a lot of his career was spent at Real Madrid doing it, but for what he brought, you would deal with everything else, like the throwing your hands in the air and all that stuff. But now, yes, he scores, but look what he did. He didn't actually drive Man United to anything, did he? He used to be able to drag teams on his own.
Yeah, but that's because Man United are poor. That's not on it. That's not a reflection on him.
Where's he going to go that's going to allow him to like be in a team that's he's not going to go somewhere and be a teammate, is he?
I think though, if you bring him into a settled team that are maybe on the brink of doing something good and you throw him in, and he's banging in you 20, 25 goals a season.
I think any settled team, he unsettles very quickly.
I don't know, I think he'd be great for Chelsea.
Yeah, maybe I can see that because they don't have an out-and-out striker. But it's just when he goes in, it's all about him, isn't it? And in this day and age, lad, look at the fact Liverpool and City are so far ahead is because there's no one individual. It's a team game. It's a fluid game. You have to run out there to take that space so that somebody else can score. I.e. why Firmino was so good in the early years of Klopp, because it's unselfish. He doesn't. I'm not saying he's not a brilliant player. He's one of the best players to ever live. But the game's different now. You have to. You can't. You don't have.
But he's still banging in 20 goals a season in the Prem.
But I just don't.
In a failing Man United team.
I just don't think it's enough anymore. See, Gerrard took the captaincy off Tyrone Mings.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a statement, isn't it?
That's what happened to him though, wasn't it? He took it off Hippier and gave it to him.
Yeah, it's a brave move that, like. You can rock the boat, but I think Tyrone Mings has taken it quite well.
Yeah, he put a tweet out, didn't he, saying like, you know, look, made up for him type thing. He's a great lad.
Good player, John McGinn.
You've skipped ahead, George, but we'll, you know.
Sorry, I just seen the headline.
We'll still on United. They did sign Ajax defender Martinez.
Don't know
for
anything about
57 million, I think it was. The only thing I know about him, he was the defender who was dancing with Ten Hag when Ten Hag not done that dance.
Oh, so he's coming from, yeah, so he knows
he's
him.
brought him Ajax, so you would have thought that was a bit of a, you know, thing he's signing. Also, Nottingham Forest, you know how much they've spent this summer?
Yeah, crazy.
100 mil.
Give us 18 million for Nico Williams.
100 mil is a lot of money to be spending.
Giving Lingard 200 grand a week upon there, aren't they?
Fucking hell. So yeah, Notts Forest doing bits. And the other little transfer one to finish on transfers was there's a lad called Chris Richards. He's just signed to Palace for about 7 million from Bayern Munich. But his story was he was once knocked back from a trial at a United in a team in the United States. They wouldn't give him a trial, and he's went okay, sounds. Ends up making it at Bayern and just got a little 7 million quid move to the Prem.
Not bad at all. But it's
fair play.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Richards.
Yeah, that's just one way of proving people wrong, isn't it? That's how it should be, man.
What a fucking way. Yeah, like you say, lad, Gerrard's fucked off. Mings got McGuinness in as captain.
John McGinn is. If John McGinn weren't called John McGinn and didn't look Scottish, people would
Is it
love
McGinn,
him.
is it?
Yeah, John McGinn, yeah.
McGinn, why have I called him McGinn?
He's so good as a midfielder at that level, but he's just not flashy, is he? He's just like some of the goals he scored, mate.
I think definitely that's got something to do with Gerrard. That happened to Gerrard, didn't it? Got taken off Hippier. That's definitely maybe had an impact. He's thought, I can do it, because I think a lot of people think you can't change the captain. Gerrard's been a part of it when it has happened and thought, yeah. He's seen something that he likes in McGinn, and that's it.
The other thing is, have you got a little list of where you're moving through? Go on then, you can keep going.
Man City. Oh, thanks, lad. Man City this season are going to offer smart scarves to the fans. So these are scarves that you put on, and the idea is is they're able to track your emotional, physiological and movement data.
Why?
You tell me, I don't know.
Well done, mate. You were sweating, you really loved the game. No, I was just absolutely high on drugs.
Yeah. What the fuck's that about?
It's just a modern world, innit?
What type of data can that be used for to know how much you were shitting yourself during a match?
It'll become a thing saying, oh yeah, we had the fans with the highest heart rate.
Probably,
exciting football, this and that. It's a load of shit.
Yeah.
But, I just hope it's never going to happen, like, but you'd hope football would remain untapped to all that stuff, especially as fans, but
it's a bit of a mad one I've seen. And the other little mad one I've seen this week was Bordeaux have been reinstated into League One after 3 days before the start of the new season over financial irregularities. So they got fucked off because of financial, I'm guessing, fair play reasons.
Yeah.
3 days before the season's meant to start, they've been allowed back in.
Come on, boys. Back in you go. How does that work with like fixtures and that?
That's what I mean. Fuck knows.
France is a mad place though. It's like I've watched back last season. I would like just randomly watch French footy, and it's so weird. Like the golfing players is mad.
When I was doing on the one for the betting show, but one thing I always do in French footy is when, apart from like PSG, most games are draws. You know, it's a league where like they're all shite
it's really
together.
boring. Yeah, it's proper boring. It's Italian football gets like labelled as boring, doesn't it? But like it's actually really entertaining. Yeah. French footy is dire.
No, I agree. Come on, what were you gonna say?
Just the 5 sub thing. 5 subs in it.
It's coming in this season, yeah.
What do you think on that? Good for us because we made the most subs, didn't we, out of anyone?
Yeah, listen, I think it's gonna definitely benefit the bigger clubs with the bigger squads. But when you look at how much, not to feel too sorry for the players, but you know, you look at how much football they are getting expected to play, then I think it's only fair.
Wouldn't imagine we've got 5 players to come on, like good players.
You're messing.
What's our bench next season?
I think our bench is arguably better than City's it was last season.
I don't know, lad, you know. I mean,
you're going to have either, if Bobby doesn't go, you're going to have Bobby on and Jota on the bench.
Yeah.
You've obviously
Jones.
got the Kelleher, the goalie, Gomez.
Gomez, good player, yeah. Gomez,
You'll have
Jones.
the new right back at Ben Davies. You'll have Tomiskas, the left back. Now there's 5 subs already. You're going to have Jones. You'll have Carvalho, Elliott.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see that Carvalho. I think Elliott might play me.
The Ox, if he doesn't go.
He got it. It's time for the Ox to go, though, isn't it?
Our bench is sound, I think. And now some footy, that was all for me.
No, just it is the return of the football league, isn't it? I mean, I always like the football league. It's like it's so exciting, isn't it? The championship
especially.
Anyone can beat anyone, but there's a couple of like teams that I've tried to keep an eye out for. Like Bristol Rovers got Joey Barton in, haven't he? Ryan Lowe's at Preston. I said my next door neighbour's a Preston fan, so I tend to like. But apparently he's been like well received there. He's like, see, they had like 600 fans at Granada. Played like Granada somewhere in Spain, like on a pre-season. Took 600 fans to watch.
They've got in. Ryan trains at the gym, and as does my running coach, and he's got my running coach in with them.
Does he? Yeah.
Now as well.
Well,
so
he signed that Woodburn, didn't he?
Expect a lot of running from Preston this season, thanks to Tony.
But I think they signed Woodburn from us, didn't he? Is it Woodburn? Yeah, and just hopefully they go up.
Yeah, Ryan's been brought in definitely to give them a good promotion charge, so I'd expect that. The other ones I'm going to be looking out for is Forest Green, as always. They got promoted last season.
Little bankers.
So, well, who knows how they get on in the new league, but yeah, it'd be nice to see them do well.
My mate as well, Sam Minhan, who I played at university with, he went to Stockport after university. He's just played, I think he's played like 150 games now, and he's making his Football League debut this weekend.
Is he? Yeah.
Well. So from university football to the Football League.
Some effort, that.
Unreal, innit?
What do you think on the Charity Shield? Gonna be paying much attention to it, or?
I hate it, lad. Like, I know there's that famous thing, isn't he, about the only thing. One of our managers was Bob Paisley or something, said the only thing I care about is making sure you play the Charity Shield next year because it means you've won a trophy or something. I just think, who playing City? I think it'll be, it'll be just another extension of pre-season. I imagine there'll be lots of swapping and changing and stuff like that.
It doesn't get counted, does it? It's the big trophies that you've won.
No. If anyone you'd only count the Charity Shield if you're desperate, lad. You don't win anything else. What do you think on, like, I was speaking to an Everton fan yesterday, the Carabao Cup, do you reckon because we done it last year, I know we've disrespected it, so to speak, in the past. Do you reckon we'll go for it again?
I don't think we went for it this year.
Do you reckon? We
No.
were stronger than usual, no. Van Dijk played a couple of games.
No, he never.
He did, lad?
No, he never. He might have played the final. He fucking didn't.
We should.
I was at most of them, lads.
I
We
hate
put out.
that.
We put out loads of shite
I
each
hate
week.
that, like, team.
I say loads of shite. They were fucking great because they won it. But I'm just gonna try and find out whether Van Dijk. I don't think he played in many.
Any team, it's like I was saying to an Everton fan, like, if I was Frank Lampard, my number one priority would be to try and win the Carabao Cup. But any team that disrespects a trophy is just pathetic. Like, when do you get too good to win a trophy?
Lad, you're talking shite.
Why am I?
He played 3 games in the
There you go. They're only
Carabao
6.
Cup. Yeah,
So we played half the
them.
game. Yeah, so we played half the games, which is
The
much more
final.
than anyone played.
The final, probably
Yeah.
in the 2 semis.
Yeah, there you go. At least he played in them. But if you think as a club you're too good to win a trophy, you need to fucking.
Lad, it's not about that. It's a business.
Yeah,
So
it's 6 games.
So I'm going, no, you've got a game, right, on Wednesday, right, where if you win it, you get 2.5 mil in the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
And then at the weekend you've got a game in the Prem. So you play in the Champions League Wednesday, then you play in the league on Sunday against Man City, your title rivals.
Yeah.
Then you're playing a game against whoever in the League Cup, where if you win the League Cup 6 games later, you get 2.5 mil.
Yeah.
Where's the business
How
sense?
often does it go Champions League, Man City, Carabao Cup though?
Well, lad, this season, lad, it seemed fucking pretty every 3 or 4
but
days.
It's an extra
So as
6 games on your season. It's not like you're flying to like Singapore to play a game. You're playing a game, and
But you might be playing it 3 days after or 3 days before
But
a
if
game.
there's a
That's
Prem
worth-
game 3 days after you play it,
I know, because when you win the Prem, you get about fucking 50 mil, 100 mil.
yeah. But what if you don't win the Premier? You finish the season without a trophy and you just threw one away just for the sake of that?
But that's where it comes into hedging your bets. You'd rather be in with a shout of winning the Prem than going, okay, we'll fuck the Prem off and we'll focus on this League Cup and we might win 2.5 million at the end of the season.
You should never fuck anything off. You've got a big enough squad and good enough players
Well, that's what they've done.
to compete exactly this year, which is what I was made up
But
about.
they've done that every year.
No, they haven't, lad. For a couple of years, we just sacrificed it.
Lads, we played the kids every season in the League Cup, and it's just this season the kids and the fringe players done better than normal.
It weren't the kids this time, though. It was a mixture, like Minamino, who was on the bench all the time. But then it was a mix of other players because we actively wanted to win the cup.
They've definitely always had the same type of players playing
we've
in the League
played
Cup.
other times where we've had like kids I'd never even heard of play one game and then never ever play for Liverpool again.
There were some kids who've done that this season.
No, it was a stronger team. It was more like, players on the fringe with a couple of in. But regardless of the thing, I made up we won it. But no team should ever think they're too good to win a trophy.
I agree. No one's too good to win anything, but it's business.
Yeah.
If I was the owner of that club and I seen Klopp playing Van Dijk, Salah against Northampton away on a Tuesday night when we've just played City or we've got a Champions League game, I'd be fuming.
No, you're a professional fucking football player playing for trophies. Go and win fucking trophies.
Lad, it's back to that thing, lad. You could be the best professional in the world. You can't fucking play 90 minutes every week.
Well, our big selling point
3 times a week.
Our biggest selling point last year was how much we played every single game and how fit we were and how much of a test.
Because we had the squad.
Exactly. So if you've got the squad, go and do it. Don't be resting players just because there's a bigger game next week. As Klopp constantly says, there's no bigger game than your next one. It should be. Every tournament you're in, you should try and win it. You shouldn't get to a point where you're like, oh, we win this trophy and we go for this because this pays this money. Just go and win the game ahead of you and win every trophy you're in.
But whatever team he puts out, though, he does try and win. I'm not disputing that. I'm saying
he
though,
did this year, which is exactly what he should do every year, and every other team should do. If you're Everton, for example, you haven't won a trophy for 25 years, and then you get to the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup, and then you think you can go and play your kids because we've got a Prem game next week. Fuck off! Go and play the trophy and try and win it.
What happens though? I remember being in. I was flying home, funny enough, from a Champions League. What was it? I was in Barcelona. I remember that, and we played Everton in the League Cup, I think it was, and put the kids out and beat them. So what's that then?
That's good. Like if you win, no problem.
But looking at it though, you'd go, he's disrespecting that cup, playing the kids in a derby against Man Everton, playing a full strength side.
I wouldn't say you're not disrespecting it. What I'm trying to say to you is just go for it. Go and try and win the trophy.
But whatever team he puts out, they're gonna go for it, aren't they?
No,
obviously.
But it would if you then put a team out, for example, when that is like non-competitive. That game we won Everton sound, that's fine.
But looking at it though, it's easy in hindsight. Looking at it, you'd look at them names against who they're playing and go, lad, he's took the piss there. He's being disrespectful.
We had Divock Origi up front who just scored a winner in the Champions League final.
How many games does he play?
Yeah, but that's not. He's not
he
a kid.
He doesn't start every week.
He's not a kid though, is he? It's not like you're going to the under-18s and go, all right, mate, come in here. You know, you've trained with the first team once, go and play up front against Everton.
But you're talking, George, about disrespecting things, lad. Divock Origi starts less than 5 games a season.
That's absolutely fine. If we go into it and we play, like I said, Minamino, players who come on regularly in the Premier League, will start Premier League games even there, they play that sound. But if you get to a point where you go, right, in the 3rd round, all my first team squad go and rest, come on, lads, you come and all play. Unless you've got a crazy injury crisis like we did one year. But I'm just saying, like, for example, Southampton won't get relegated, won't win the league, and won't qualify for Europe, ever. Like, unless there's an anomaly. What right have they got to go in the Carabao Cup and go, we're too good to win that, let's play the kids? It's pathetic, lad.
I'll tell you why, because they might, Southampton maybe not, but the other teams, though, who want to survive in the Premier League and don't want to risk their star players getting injured in a Nottingham game. Okay, because so that's Premier League survival is worth more than
so that's like 4 or 5 teams. Again, Everton this season, why wouldn't you go full strength in the Carabao Cup?
There are some teams, but the teams I'm giving examples of, the Liverpools, Man Cities, maybe Chelsea's who are going for the league, and the teams at the bottom. Then that's the reason why they arguably disrespect the cup. Nah, and I can totally see that.
Nah, it's bullshit for me. Like, as a footy player, you want to win trophies. You don't want to fucking rest because you.
That's not the argument, though.
It is, lad. Because if you
we're gonna have to move on.
Why? You're eliminating your chance to win a trophy.
I am not saying that Jurgen Klopp or any player, when they start, that 90 minutes is about to go, no one is going, I'll be arse winning. Everyone from that moment wants to win the game, wants to go on and progress in the cup. I agree with that.
Yeah, but to give yourself the maximum chance of winning that game, you play your best players, don't you?
No.
So why do you have best players then?
Okay, then it's like saying, let's play a game of top trumps, right? You've got fucking, what was the old Pokemon fucking thing?
Don't know.
We've got a game of Pokemon top trumps, and you show a card, and I've got a card, right? Mm-hmm. Your card's worth 50, and I've got 2 cards. I can play one that's 51 or 100. What card am I gonna play? I'm gonna play the 51, so it just beats you. It's strong enough to beat you. I'm not gonna waste me 100 on it, am I? That's essentially what it is. A game of top trumps. You're playing a team. You're taking a calculated risk to play a team that is just good enough to win. There's no point in blowing it. Yeah. Having a team and putting all your superstars here. All right, you've got a far better chance of winning, but actually you should win anyway. So it's fucking. That's why you do it. It's a calculated risk too. The players I'm picking are good enough to win that game. It's a risk rather than going. Them players there, all the Champions League winners, the Premier, they will 100% definitely win that game. But I think actually these lads will actually. So I'm going to play them instead.
So that's Liverpool.
Yeah, that's the whole thing we're talking about Liverpool.
No, we're talking about everyone. So what about Everton? Why would Everton play the weak team? Why would Southampton play a weak team? Why would West Ham play a weak team?
I didn't say they would. You were on about the whole disrespecting of the cups, and I said the reasons why clubs do it are for this reason.
What? To protect winning the Champions League?
Right, let's just move on.
It's a valid argument.
If you cannot see the reasoning behind,
I can't see why you would. You've got professional.
You can't see why you'd rest players.
No, not in a season. I think you're in cup competitions to go and win them.
So ideally, okay then. So in your world, you'd want to play the same 11 every single week.
No, but I would want to play the strongest possible team available to me.
But that would be the same 11 then, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't, because for example, there's games where Firmino fits better than Jota, and that's fine. If we were playing a game and he went, right, Jota's going to come out, but Firmino's going to come in, that's sound. My point is, you're never ever too good to win a trophy. We should know that more than anyone, because we spent 25 years coming fucking 8th. Like, if every game you get to, you should be putting out the strongest team available to you to go and win the game. You shouldn't get to trophies and go, maybe this one doesn't mean that much because the total winnings isn't that great. So what we'll do is we'll weaken it down. No,
but it's a business though, lad.
It's not, lad. It
is a business.
For them players, it's not though. It shouldn't be.
I'm not saying it for the players. I'm saying that the people who are at the top,
they don't get a choice on who plays, lad.
No, but Klopp is not stupid, and Klopp knows for the transfer budget the next season, for everything about it. All this is taken into consideration.
Yeah, but if you eliminate Liverpool, out of the situation, so we don't talk about Liverpool, why any other team, like, I can understand your argument of Liverpool and City because they got the squad or whatever, why any other team would disrespect the cup competition when they can't...
Relegation
They
teams.
start a season with the chance of winning two trophies.
And there are clubs who, you know, I don't think Everton have disrespected the cup.
We'll revisit it when the third round of the Carabao Cup comes
But
and we look at everyone's team.
But I don't think there will be teams that disrespect it, because there will be teams and their remit will be get a good cup run in the FA or the League Cup, because they know they're not going to win the league, they know they're not going to get relegated, and they know they might not get Europe. So 100% it will be, let's get a good cup run going.
Let's revisit the Carabao Cup third round teams then when it comes out. I bet you they're all weak.
Okay.
And it's pathetic.
Sound right. In F1, it was the French GP last weekend. Max won. Mercedes got a 1-2 in the not Mercedes. Mercedes. Second and third. Charles Leclerc fucked it though, didn't he?
Yeah, he went into that corner coming out hot, mate.
He fucked it big time. It was actually really sad watching him after. He was obviously very... he knew himself he'd fucked it. Young lad.
Stupid though, so stupid. Like, he had the race boxed off apart from an anomaly happening like that, and he allowed it to happen just by, you know, trying to show off or trying to be super stupid quick.
I just think when you're pushing it so hard, it's like...
But
you're talking milliseconds, aren't you, of like breaking too late, too early. It's like so tough on him, and he was very like remorseful afterwards. I felt a bit sorry for him watching his interview. You
can't make mistakes at that level though, regardless of how much of a nice fella, how old you are. You can't make mistakes when you're one of the best drivers in the world. Like, you just can't do it. I mean, if Lewis would do it, the criticism would be the same. If Max were to do, Max has done it plenty of times. Like, it's the game, innit? It's a game of inches, F1, like, but, I mean...
It's interesting with Ricciardo as well, the Australian who's with McLaren at the minute.
Yeah.
He's obviously was the marquee signing, if you like, and Lando's outperforming him. And it's a bit like, comes back to that kind of relationship with F1 drivers, and it's a bit like...
Yeah, to be fair though, he still remains the only one of them two who, when put in a position to win an F1 race, he went and...
Well, that's what he's come out and said, look, you know, give me a good car and I will win races.
Well, to be honest, when like you're looking at outperforming with Lando and him, apart from the couple of races here and there, they both finish in midfield and within, you know, a couple of seconds of each other. The car's not good enough to win. But I think, Ricciardo's a great driver, so is Lando, to be fair. But as I say, as he rightly said, when a race has been put on the table, he's never left it there. He's always gone and finished the job. So I would say it's more pressure. It should be more pressure on McLaren than it is on the driver, because he's shown he can win races. You've got to give him a fucking car to do it.
He's only won one with them so far.
That's what I mean. But they've not got the, like, as I say, when the opportunity arose, he took it. Like when you're just driving around midfield, it's tough, isn't it? Because whether you come 6th or 9th, it doesn't. I know they're challenging for the constructors or to be the best of the midfield, but it's not like Lando. It's like we talk about Russell and Hamilton. It's not like one is hitting the podium every week and, you know, being close to winning. They're both just meandering.
Yeah, so it's the Hungary this weekend.
Yeah.
And then a break.
Yeah, summer break, innit?
Yeah, that was. I actually watched the F1 last weekend and enjoyed it.
I love it, lad. I proper love it.
Mate, one on the tennis, it looks like Big Novak will miss out on the US Open solely down to his COVID vaccination status. So this will be now the second tournament he's missed out on, including the Australian Open, that he's not being able to play simply by not putting a vaccine into his body that he did not want.
It's tough now though, because it's impacting not only tennis, but it's impacting him as well. I think for everything that he's fucking done in the game and how good he is, everyone's just going to remember him for this. Being the fella who didn't get the vaccine and couldn't play in tournaments, and it should not overshadow what he's done.
You know what though, mate, the world is that fucked up at the minute. I think he'll come out of this alright. I don't think he'll be remembered like that at all. I don't know. You know, fucking hell, I seen on the news this morning that monkeypox is fucking the next big thing. You know, as the world becomes more crazy, I think him, by going, look, I want to go and play a sport that I'm really good at, let me play. And the fact that governing bodies are telling him he can't because he's not done things that he believes he doesn't need to, I think it's up to him. And I'm hoping he'll be remembered by someone who just said, look, it's my body, I want to do.
I think he will to people like me and you. I think in tennis circles he won't, because I think he's already frowned upon a little bit for what he's doing, isn't he? To people
he
in
had
the game.
He had a warm reception at Wimbledon.
I would give him. I agree with him. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. But
I'm not being the whole pro or anti-vaccine. I just mean, for having a stance and sacrificing a lot for what you believe in is big, and fair play to him.
I just hope it doesn't overshadow, because he's just his achievements are just a joke, and he shouldn't be remembered by some stupid vaccination argument.
No. The big one as well in horse racing this week, we've had Glorious Goodwood on this week. Have you watched much of it?
Bits, like I said, I'm bored of flat racing, I'll be totally honest. It bores the living daylights out of me.
It was an interesting one. So the horse Stradivarius was come second.
Yeah, I've seen that race, hell of a race, don't I?
It was a great race. The big thing was, I thought was interesting about the owners. I think he's 7 years old, I think, Stradivarius. The way he run the race, you think he's got loads more in him. But there was talk beforehand that was going to be his last race. And then after he performed so well, his owners were like, nah, we're going to roll him again.
What the bred to do?
I know, but it was a case of, should we get our money's worth? Should we send him to studs? Should we do, what should we do with him? And then he pulls up a race like this, and it's like, fuck it, man, we're going again.
Yeah, lad, you should, with horses, the bred to do that thing. So why they show an appetite to do it, allow them to keep running, because it's a short career. And he's not. I mean, look, I don't know accidents happen in flat racing, but he's not in great danger of injury, is he? The worst that's going to happen to him is it's not going to be there anymore, and he comes last in a race that he probably should have won a few years ago. Then you retire him. Don't retire him when he's still coming second at massive meetings.
The other big thing in horse racing as well, which is interesting, is so a lot of the big wigs are all coming together this week to try and basically fix a lot of problems that are going on. And I think what they want it to lead to is fewer elite races, basically just to stop people going abroad with the horses.
There's too much racing. Racing shouldn't be on every day.
Well, they're not even looking about stopping racing. They're just stopping the bigger races, because what's happening is you're getting horses worth maybe $250,000 racing in races where the winner might get 70 grand. And it's kind of like you can go abroad to America or the Middle East and run in races where you're getting 2, 3, 4 million. Yeah.
So it's British horse racing's fault, though. They just take it for granted all the time. I mean, I've seen Stradivarius' owner say, we could go to this race, but the prize money's a joke, I'm not going. Because they're scrimping. I mean, but it's too much. Like, I think the quality of horse racing is so dead because there's just so many options. The big races, like the other day when Tushan, Kyprios and Stradivarius ran, because they're all clashing, but it's so easy to dodge your rivals to win races as an owner. There can be a horse who is running the same distance as you, same age, who you can go, we're not going to beat that, or that's going to run us close, so what we'll do is we'll run over here, he's going to run there, then alright, let's get to, for example in jumps, let's get to Cheltenham. Right, what race is he going for? That on the Tuesday, or Sam, we'll go Thursday. They should be condensing it so that you have more.
It's like 30 races to choose from, isn't there, I guess, in Cheltenham?
You should run, the division should be condensed, and the best horses should almost be forced to race against each other.
Well, they're all meeting this week, the bookies, the race owners, the trainers, the BHA, everyone. So, interesting to see what comes of that. Golf, who do you think the next name is, lad?
Cameron Smith.
Bubba Watson. Bubba Watson.
Is he not gone yet, Cameron Smith, no?
I've not heard about Cameron Smith, but Bubba Watson's the next name to go over to the Live.
Seen that event they've announced?
Yeah, so I've done some workings out on this, right? This is hilarious, this. So the new Live golf tournament for 2023, it's going to have 48 players competing in basically a league kind of style. There's going to be 14 tournaments with 405 million quid in a combined prize pot. Okay? I've worked out that that's 20 million quid, 29 million pound per tournament.
Total prize money?
No, so there's 40 players in the league,
yeah,
and there's going to be 14 tournaments in that league. The total prize money for the 14 tournaments is 405 million.
Yeah.
So it's 29 million a tournament.
You know.
So I know it doesn't work like this, but let's just say for every tournament, the 29 mil gets averaged out. You could finish last and get 600 grand.
Every tournament.
Every tournament. Last. So if you play,
obviously it doesn't. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It doesn't work like that because obviously it's still going to be a few hundred grand.
Easy.
So let's just half it then. Let's say it's 300 grand, right? If you finish last in the 14 tournaments, you'll pick up 4.2 million.
Sick, that.
For coming 48th out of 48. 14 times, you'll walk away with 4.2
I'll be
million.
trying to come last.
It's madness.
Yeah, it's not going to clash with the PGA, is it? Which is like a good thing. I mean, they've planted the dates like around certain tournaments. But I see Donald Trump got right involved, didn't he?
Did he?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, it's not him directly, but I think one of the tournaments is at his golf course. One's in London, isn't it? I don't know where they...
How are they getting 420 million for 14 games of golf? It's
North
mad.
America, Latin America, Australia, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East.
29 mil a tournament is fucking crazy, man.
It is.
Absolutely crazy.
But it's so exciting, isn't it? It's like fans to watch it, like.
I'm more excited in the like the backstabbing side of it, which is not good.
No. But yeah, it's like... But I mean, I know what people are saying about, like, you know, it hasn't got prestige and all that. But it's injected some interest into golf that weren't there. I don't care what anyone says. There was a core...
It's got people talking about
there
it,
was
definitely.
a core group of golf supporters, no doubt about it, and, you know, I'm sure they went down the pub and they spoke about golf. But I think I'm speaking about golf to, like, people who I'm with. Like, yesterday, I was speaking about golf. I would never have spoke about golf. Like, do you know what I mean? It wouldn't... I would, like, you know, it comes up in conversation even there, but it's like...
Are you speaking about, though, for the right reasons? That's the problem.
No, but any publicity is good publicity in sport. And that's, I'm sure that's what they're doing. And for the players, you know, what an opportunity for financial security. As I've said weeks and weeks ago, it's not on them to be displaying what's right morally and, you know, from a human right perspective. You can't criticise golf players for taking this money if you have any sort of ambition to stand and support England in Qatar if you're a football fan.
No, I agree.
Like, it's not on them to be holding everything up morally. They've been given an opportunity, and you know, it's on them as professionals to decide whether they want to do it or they don't. But whichever way they go, they shouldn't get criticism, in my opinion.
Other kind of dodgy dealings, if you like, following on from the Live tournament. I don't know if you've seen this one, but America now, as in like the politicians, are talking to Russian politicians to try and get a women's basketball player home who is currently in jail for being caught in Moscow airport having some cannabis in a vape. So
She's in drug, is she?
She's been arrested, in Moscow prison.
Wow.
And now American politicians are now in talks with Russian politicians to get her home. The Russians have turned around and said, we'll give you your one back if you give us one of our ones back. And there's a guy who's in prison in America at the moment who was a Russian arms dealer who goes by the name of the Merchant of Death, who's currently in Nicking in America. And the Russians have said, okay, we'll give you your women's basketball player back.
Give us the
He was
merchant
smoking
back.
a bit of weed. Give us the Merchant of Death back and we'll call it quits.
Mate. I'd love to hear flying all in them discussions.
That's what's going on at like top level.
That's the world we're living in.
Top level. I mean, you're going from the fucking Saudis pumping 420 million into a golf tournament.
Give us the merchant back.
To now the Merchant of Death getting brought out of jug. Or because some American women's basketball player was smoking a bit of weed in Moscow.
It's mad, innit?
And the last one before we get onto your bag is Vince McMahon. Remember the wrestling?
Yeah, retired, didn't he?
He's retiring at 77.
Triple H in charge.
Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in charge.
The man.
The interesting thing is, though, he's come round in a statement and said, you know, I'm 77, it's time to retire. What he didn't fail to mention in his retirement speech was that there's a string of women who are now saying that he's paid them millions to keep quiet, hush money, because he's been shagging all kinds and keeping it all under wraps by paying everyone off. That storm's kind of come home, and
now he's just playing now. I'm just
and now he's like, listen, I'm going to retire now, I'm 77, while this shitstorm is brewing about him paying everyone off. And
away from the shitstorm, mate, he was involved in a lot of my childhood memories.
Oh man, yeah. Brilliant. Loved the wrestling, man.
A lot of them, but
yeah,
he's just one of many males, isn't he? At the minute.
Yeah. And listen, I think he might be a billionaire. You know?
He's not far off. The WWE, it was WWF when I watched it, but the WWE is just an incredible organisation worth serious money. You want to see when they go to you know, you think the UFC and the boxing's big when they go to Vegas. You want to see when the WWE goes, mate? Crazy.
Massive.
Crazy.
Properly entertaining.
Have you seen that that clip on Twitter where there's like an open like forum with all the R wrestlers? And I don't know, I guess it's in Vegas or something. And there's a fella anyway in the crowd, and he's obviously had a couple of ales, like, and he's like getting all emotional about it. He's like, it's still real for me. He's like 50, and even the R fellas on the stage are like, all right, mate, and it's still real. It's still real.
Mad, innit? Yeah, it was a belt when you were a kid. Mate, last weekend's UFC belter.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Paddy and Molly obviously stole the show.
We needed them, to be fair. The card didn't really live up to it.
No, wasn't as great as when we were there, but
No.
yeah, I still enjoyed it. Obviously, Paddy's speech, I think, at the end got the most attention, which was great to see. Him highlighting, you know, mental health, and unfortunately, one of his mates had committed suicide. So really nice to see him get that moment to kind of shine a light on that, and done exactly what he said, swerved over the lad's head.
Yeah, to be fair though, it was a good fight, you know, because I give Jordan Leave the first round.
Yeah, it was a close.
I thought he won the first round, and then obviously I think all the way through this, Paddy respected Jordan Leave. I think he knew, you know, all the stuff about saying, you know, I'm not gonna take it to the. You know, obviously, he said all week he was gonna knock him out, but then he ended up getting a submission. I think he did respect him, and I think the wrestling did cause Paddy some problems. But when he gets onto you, you know, you're gonna do well to get him off, and he's just the steam train's rolling a bit, innit? He's got it's gonna be so interesting to see how he's matched, because it's whether they try and continue to give him people at this level, or whether they throw him into a big fight and sort of see sink or swim sort of thing. But you know, no one's really caused a storm in the way he has for a long time since McGregor, really. I mean, I wouldn't consider Paddy's rise as like emphatic as McGregor's, just because of, like, you know, look at McGregor's sort of record. He was sort of fighting massive fights fairly quickly, but I think no one's got close.
I think there's a little bit of, like, you know, just compare it a little bit like to, like, you know, the billionaires taking over in the Premier League. You know, when Roman Abramovich come in, it was like, fucking hell. But then the second time the next billionaire comes in, it's like another one.
I think, you can't deny what he's doing. Like,
I think it's amazing what he's done, but I think no one will ever eclipse McGregor, because McGregor was the first one.
Yeah, he was the trailblazer, wasn't he? But yeah, I mean, for me, I love all the noise and I love all his speeches and that, but for me, it's just from a mixed martial artist point of view. I want to see who he's matched with. You know what I mean? I want to see how really ambitious the UFC are with him, whether they think he holds title credentials or not. Because, as I've said many times, there's no better division in the entire promotion than the one he's in. But yeah, I think it was a great performance. Molly's the same, you know.
Elbow
finish
again.
with that elbow again. See the Rock tweeted it.
Yeah,
that. But there's loads of celebrities getting involved. And Drake had £1 million on the pair of them.
2 million?
Was it 2 mil?
2
mil to win a mil.
2 into
And you know, it's just crazy. You know,
I think he won 1.5 mil. I think actually.
Seen Dana speaking this week, and I think
they call it a parlay, don't they? Is that a double?
Yeah, no, it's a parlay. It's like an accumulated anything, any
right, okay.
But yeah, seeing this week, it was I think Dana said on his Instagram, Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blades facing off did 207,000 views. Paddy facing off with Jordan Leave did 1.7 million views, and I think Molly drinking Howlerhead and doing something with the fans did over 2 mil. So what Paddy and Molly are like creating something from like an eyes point of view.
Mad, innit?
It's just crazy. Obviously two not kids, are they? The full grown adults, but two people from Liverpool like doing that. It's crazy. And I know Molly called out Shevchenko's the champion, but Shevchenko's sister is also in the division, and I know Molly called her out, which I think is a good fight for her.
Where is she ranked now, Molly?
She's not ranked, I don't think.
She's not ranked?
She will get a ranking now. She was 15 at one point. I don't know if she fell out, but I'm sure she'll be getting a ranking, yeah. Maybe she got done this week, I don't know, but she will definitely be getting a ranking. It's just a case of, you know, how quick they move her, because unlike, I think Paddy's got a couple of years to get into the division, I think Molly's got to move fairly quickly, and, you know, she's had her ups and downs in the UFC already. There was one point where she put her gloves in the middle of the octagon, and she was sort of, I know she said that was a tribute to her dad, which I'm sure it was, but it's like, you know, there was a point where everyone was like, is Molly going to carry on? And now she's like riding this wave of just, it's how quick it can change. But talking about how quick it can change, Aspinall 15 seconds. Still don't know what, I heard it was a dislocation, which is, I know, obviously bad, but then he said it might be his MCL. But I've heard that he had issues with it anyway, going into the fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'd had issues with it for a while. But it was just the way it happened. Like,
the quickest way to lose money ever, that.
Did you bet on it?
Yeah.
Well, I had the over too, but
15 seconds.
To be honest, after the first exchange, when he threw at Curtis Blade, missed, Curtis Blades threw at Aspinall and landed, I thought, get in, because that means that. Oh, just going to have to take this a minute.
God, you could be getting a live pregnancy here.
Hello? Yeah, what happened?
Oh my God.
Okay, alright. I'll cut the show short. So, see you later. I've just got a live pregnancy. Come on.
Really?
Mm.
Right. Nice one, everyone. Jordan's going to have a baby.
Sorry about that. Be back next week.
We'll pick up on the betting show this weekend. Have a boss weekend.
See you later.
Nice one.
Fuck's sake.
Wow, what did she say, man?
She just said you're going to have to come home.